My plan today is to turn this old desk lamp with an adjustable arm into an overhead camera mount. The first step is going to be to take off the adjustable base and then strip the electrical wiring out of it and try to salvage as much of this as I can, including the bulb socket. I might have a use for that later. Now the next step is going to be to work on this top piece. Just to make it a little bit easier on myself, I'm going to take the light housing off of this at the little swivel joint here, if I can get it apart without too much trouble. There we go. Set the arm aside, and then I can focus on this right here. What I'm interested in is this piece here. I want to keep this swivel head. There's not really any way to reproduce this, but I want to be able to mount a camera to this. So what I'm thinking I'll do is take this and try to pound this flat so I can screw through it and attach it to something I can use as a camera mount. Crap, that already split. It's just a cheap aluminum casting. Let's see what else I can do here. I've got the ball joint piece. I'll take this end off, sink it into the end grain, put a threaded insert into one side, and then come through the other side with a thumb screw. That will allow me to use this piece as a camera plate. I can mount the camera right on here and then actually rotate it in the jig. I had to cut this recess on the back so that the thumb screw would get enough distance up in there through the stock to mount a camera to it. I left the piece sitting upright to cure, and when it was done, I stuck an adhesive GoPro mount to it. What I want to do now is put it back in the old lamp arm and then walk you through what kind of performance I can get out of this. I've got my main camera. I've also got a Hero 3 that I work with sometimes, and my iPhone 6. So what I'm going to do now is set them up and give you an idea of how much of the work surface I can cover with each of these cameras. Putting this back together is easy enough. You just snap that ball socket back in there, tighten it up, and then attach one of the camera mounts to it. I have this little spring clamp here that my iPhone fits in, so let's start out with that. I'm going to fasten that to the bottom of this here, and then take a couple overhead shots. Extend it up as high as possible. I probably get about 18 inches by about 12 inches of work surface. Not a lot with this narrow field of view with the iPhone camera, but enough that if you're working on something delicate, you could certainly get a nice shot of it. And if you needed to, you could zoom in and get a really nice shot of very fine work. Now, what's really cool is what happens when I switch over to my GoPro, and really after trying this, I think this is probably the primary camera that I'm going to use on this mount because it's just so easy. With the GoPro plugged in, and again, just about 2 feet off of the work surface, you can see everything. This is about a 2.5 by 3.5 foot wide desktop that I'm working on. It's got a little bit of a fisheye effect, but you can see everything. This is going to be great for when I want to get an overhead shot of what my hands are doing without the camera being right in the way. I have my main camera on the stand now. It's a Canon Vixia Mini X. Let me show it to you here. Certainly not as heavy as a DSLR that I know a lot of people like to use. I don't think this stand would really hold up to the weight of a DSLR body, but it's nice enough for what I'm using it for. One of the things I really like is it's tall enough when I have it mounted to a work surface that I can get a full-on face shot. I don't have to bring my tripod out and take up the floor space that a tripod takes if I have this little camera arm mounted right there in front of me. I hope this is a project that's helpful to you. I hope it inspires you to take on a project of your own. If it does, leave me a comment below, and also make sure to take the time to like and subscribe. I'll have more projects when I get the time. Thanks for watching.